we're talking about the idea of principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness of this age, spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly places, the kind of the things they do, how they operate, and with the goal of course, finding ways to break free from those things, to be who we are supposed to be. We started early in Ephesians where it was talking about how Jesus has a name that's above all principalities, powers, all the names in this age and in the age to come, that he is, seated at the right hand of God the Father. He's above all these things, and we are seated with him above all these things. We have power over the enemy. I think of Jesus when he sent out the disciples and they cast out demons, and they were all excited. They're like, yeah, the demons are subject unto us by your name and all that. And he's like, don't rejoice that the demons are subject unto you, but rejoice that your name's written in heaven. And that's the important thing, is that we are seated with Christ in heaven. But we do have authority, we do have power, and we need to be able to operate in that. And I think as we learn more and more about how the enemy works, his goals, his tactics. I don't want you to be ignorant of the ways that the enemy works, so you can be aware of the wiles of the devil so we can overcome him. As we learn more and more about that, we'll be able to walk more and more in victory and be able to help other people walk in victory, and maybe be able to understand even why other people are in different situations that they're in. So Ephesians is going to be the background and has a lot of the information that we'll be looking at. But like last week, I was going back and looking at some of the ways that the enemy has been able to come in and take power, some of the ways that the enemy operates. Last week, we looked at Israel and how they didn't want God to be their king, but they wanted a king. They wanted a king like all the other nations, and they sure got him with Saul. And then you have where Samuel was telling him, when you have a king, he's going to take your sons and daughters away. He's going to put them in war. He's going to take your cattle. He's going to take your land. He's going to take all these things. And they're like, oh, yeah, but it's okay. We just want a king anyway. And it's just like, you could have God as your king. Why do you want someone else? And that's one of the things that people do and fall into. And we talked about how in our country, the way that kind of got manifest is it became government doing things instead of the body of Christ, instead of the church doing things. And the government took over a lot of the things that the body of Christ should be doing, that the church should be doing, and leads to the kind of mess we're in today. I don't know, if you don't think we're in a mess in our country, then I don't know that you're looking at it correctly, but it's a mess.